Hello everyone and welcome to... We're back, we're late.
Super late, the most late.
Yeah,
Never mind.
it's been like a month. So, yeah, we're
Yeah.
still live and
Yes.
we're doing well.
Despite some
sorry
panics.
for, not
Panics.
updating as often as we probably should.
Yeah, sorry, we've been working late and signal inside the place we're staying isn't great. But as soon as you go outside, you have signal. But it means by the time I get home and it's late and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
We've been lazy.
Sorry.
Anyway, without further ado, let's... I'll let you know what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Picking up where we left off, we arrived at the family farm on the outskirts of Yallingup, halfway between Busselton and Margaret River in the southwest corner of Australia. One of my cousins here runs a cooking school, so we made ourselves useful with ingredient prep as we got to know them all, and Holly put her orthoptics boots on again and did a couple of tests for Anne. As dark fell, Shiv was testing all the lights in the garden as the big news in this part of the world was that there was going to be a large family wedding at the end of the month. Over the next couple of days, with the help of all the Australian family, we had reached out to just about all the vineyards in the area looking for work. So all we could do was wait, although it just so happened that we could do it on the most beautiful beaches at Eagle Bay with fish swimming in between our toes and a few rogue jellyfish to avoid. After one too many zaps from the jellies, we moved on to Meelup Beach along the coast and were treated to another close hello from a curious local dolphin who swam right up amongst the swimmers. And after feeding some beach ducks, we made our way to Dunsborough for a lovely lunch ourselves. Next, we head to our new home at Pete and Kath's and were greeted by their pet kangaroo. And as they were going away for the weekend, we offered to house sit and make sure that they were all fed. Now, these guys, or girls rather, really want their kibble and would wait expectantly at the window or by the bowls and just stare you down. We now had a start date at the local vineyard down the road, so we spent our last 3 days enjoying the pool and took a page out of the kangaroo's book and spent the time lounging around and playing board games before evening fell and someone was waiting expectantly by the window for dinner. Monday started with an early rise straight to the coffee machine and into the car off to Ashbrook Estate, where we were going to be officially helping around the place. We arrived just as the sun rose and were put straight to work out on the vines. So the general steps of the process were first a picking team is out on the vines picking the bunches of grapes. These would be put in 10-kilo buckets. I'd then come along and collect the tags and empty in batches of 40 buckets into the tractor, and they would get carted off to Holly and the rest of the team at the sorting table, who would pull out anything that you might not want and put in the vat. This set the tempo for the week of Ashbrook in the morning and playing with dogs in the evening. Another day, another dog, another day, another dog, so on. Over the weekend, we took our day off to explore further down the south coast to Hamlin Bay, another beautifully clear bay, also famous for being a sanctuary for stingrays. As we waded in the shallows, stingrays swam right up to our feet as they explored the shallows in search for food. We did take a walk down the beach to the sandstone cliffs before making our way for lunch in Augusta, right at the mouth of the estuary before heading home. The following day, we had arranged to meet up with some friends from back in Esperance who had helped us jumpstart the car for a night of camping at Conti. We enjoyed a lunch at Margaret River, catching up before heading back to camp for dinner, drinks, and card games. We woke the next day relatively early and decided to fight off the night before with a morning run along the coast-to-coast trail and treated ourselves to a well-earned swim at the Conti beach to cool off. That evening, we returned to the farm, but this time with Mark and Abby, who we had arranged to rent their granny flat. But of course, popped over to the main farm to help Shani with a back problem in the bathroom before calling it a night. Monday, back at Ashbrook, we finished the final few rows of grapes, and of course, there was another dog, before saying thanks and bye to Brian and the family, and being sent off with a generous thank you bottle each, which we gladly cracked into after a job well done. The next couple of days, it was back to school as we attempted to get our Australian RSAs, which are basically a license for you to serve alcohol. In between questions, we did head out into the farm to check out the horses. Mark got me up on the front of the tractor with a polearm chainsaw to help him create some fire breaks down at the bottom of the paddock. And in the evening, we offered to take the energy whirlwind that is Lenny out for a walk to break up the hours in front of the laptops. With RSAs all complete and start dates all sorted at Shelter, a local brewery, we head into Margaret River for our last free day before work started up again. Into Margaret River for some drinks at Yonder before our Christmas present dinner at Mickey's Open Kitchen. Now, this was the first tasting menu dinner I think I've ever had properly. It was 23 elements spread over 4 or 5 courses. The whole experience was pretty cool. The chefs were all working away right in front of you, and they brought plate after plate of food, which was from all over Western Australia. After all that food, we rolled back to the car and called it a night before our first day at work. So this is Shelter, a brewery cum restaurant right on the foreshore in Busselton. We enjoyed our first couple of shifts here before ending the week, joining the party for Corey and Bronte's wedding. Speeches were had, food was enjoyed, and dance routines performed as we all rushed in to dance the night away, meeting all the Australian family before dancing ourselves back to bed. Since then, we've been staying at the granny flat next to Mark and Abby and enjoying life on the farm, playing endless fetch with Lenny, feeding the horses and chooks, and getting to know everyone a bit better through fairly regular pizza nights and dinner parties. Workdays at Shelter either start in the morning, where we finish around 5 p.m. and have time to drive home before a dip at Smith's Beach, or start in the evening, which takes us to around 11 at night, where the shift ends and we enjoy Starfies and head back home to bed. And just maybe sometimes there's a little extra beer that needs drinking and a couple of Mario Kart rivalries that need to be put to bed. At work, we're slowly making our way through the menu and getting to know more of the staff as we lead up to the Shelter Summer Party. And quite a party it was. The theme of it was, if it wasn't immediately obvious, was 80s prom, a little on the inconvenient side for a couple of backpackers, but the charity shops did a few of us, I think, a solid from the looks of it. Before the night got too underway, a few speeches were made, but as the sun set, the music was turned up, the singing started, and the moves were brought out. After encores and final bows, it was time to head home via the fleet of minivans and taxis that Shelter had ordered to get us home safe.